This video is a brief overview of literary devices and of mice and men. Some of these literary devices will be new, some will be review, but our essential question and our focus for this lesson is what literary devices will shape our analysis of the novel of Mice and Men. Let's begin. Allusions are new. Allusions are the act of making an indirect reference to something, or any reference to something in pop culture, history, current events, etc. The episode of Family Guy where it's all based on Star Wars, that whole episode has tons of allusions. Anytime they have a character dressed up like a Star Wars character or they have a line that references the movie, those are allusions. There are also specific types of allusions. One example of a type of allusion is biblical allusions. If you said, "He was a good Samaritan yesterday when he helped the lady start her car," that refers to a specific story in the Bible, and it's an indirect reference, so that's considered an allusion. Or if you say, "She turned the other cheek" after she was cheated of a promotion. Again, that's referencing something directly from the Bible. Last example is, "This place is like a Garden of Eden." Another reference to the book of Genesis in the Bible. There are also literary allusions. Whenever you say someone acted like a Scrooge or is being a Scrooge, that's an allusion to Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. It refers to someone who might be stingy or rude. A reference to a Trojan horse might reference something that seems like a gift but is actually a trick, just like we learned with the Trojan horse in the story of Odysseus. Or if you say someone's a real Romeo, that's referencing someone to be romantic or kind of a dreamy guy, like the character Romeo in Romeo and Juliet. Pop culture is also full of allusions. Taylor Swift's song Style says you've got that James Dean. Any reference to James Dean, that's a famous actor from the 1950s. That's an allusion. Or when One Direction's song One Thing references kryptonite, that's an allusion to Superman and his weakness. Or when Selena Gomez references Midas in her song Good For You, another reference to a mythological character. So here's a link to a video. I want you to open up this video and watch it and see how many allusions you can find. There are a total of 12 allusions. Let's see if you can't figure it out. Okay, you should have finished watching the video. At this time, let's see if you've got those 12 allusions. The first is the gingerbread house, Hansel's honeymoon hideaway. That's a reference to Hansel and Gretel. In the background of that first opening scene, you saw the onion coach. That's a reference to Cinderella's coach. You saw Red Riding Hood deliver a basket of goodies. The Little Mermaid was referenced when she was kissing Shrek. The Lord of the Rings was referenced with the forging of the wedding rings. The dwarves from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs were building the ring. The pitchforks were chasing Shrek and Fiona in the field, and the field is its own, running through the field of daisies is its own allusion. Then there was also a reference to Kung Fu movies when Fiona was kicking their butts, and Tinkerbell was referenced, as well as Spider-Man when Fiona kisses Shrek upside down. Another literary device in Of Mice and Men is idiom. This is an expression that means something other than the literal use of the words. For example, if you said it's raining cats and dogs, you don't actually literally mean that cats and dogs are falling out of the sky. You're just saying it's raining really hard outside. Or every cloud has a silver lining. That's not literal. You're just saying, hey, it's going to be okay. Or if we play our cards right. You're not playing cards literally. You're saying, hey, if we make the right moves. So here are some idioms and pictures. See if you can't guess what idiom is being represented on this picture here on the left. Pause, take a guess. Did you get it? It's saying, whatever floats your boat. What about the picture on the right? The picture on the right idiom is the apple of my eye. What about these two? The picture on the left is referring to quitting cold turkey, and the picture on the right, I'm all ears. The picture on the left is referring to a frog in your throat. The picture on the right, I've got eyes in the back of my head. Another literary device found in Of Mice and Men is a paradox. This is a statement or an idea that despite sounding reasonable, it's actually logically unacceptable or contradictory. So here are some examples. You can save money by spending it. I'm nobody. You have to be cruel to be kind. That feeling when you're alone in a crowd. People say these all the time, but actually they don't make any logical sense. Something similar to a paradox is oxymoron. While paradox is a phrase or an idea that contradicts itself, an oxymoron is just two words that contradict each other, like jumbo shrimp, or brutally handsome, or disgustingly pretty. Circular pattern is another literary device of Mice and Men. It's when the beginning and the ending of a story, poem, or other text are the same or similar. If you've ever seen the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you may remember that in the opening scene, Ferris says, "Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it." Funny enough, he says the exact same line at the very last scene of the movie. That's circular pattern. Just a reminder about foreshadowing. It's a warning or indication of a future event. In symbolism, another review literary device, it represents abstract qualities or ideas. Situational irony, we should know that the outcome is incompatible with what was expected. If we think back to the gift of the Magi and our study of irony during that reading. Onomatopoeia, those are words that imitate sounds like bang, swoosh, clang, or buzz. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching.